Hey, this is Pat, and today we're checking out the all-new Sena Cavalry 2 Bluetooth helmet. Now, for those of you not familiar, Sena's been making some helmets for quite a few years. The Cavalry was always one of the ones for the half helmets out there that offered a great option with a Bluetooth integrated system for those V-twin riders out there, or the more traditionalist riders that just want a half helmet but like the convenience of a Bluetooth system. So enter the Cavalry 2 with a mesh system now built into it. It is the equivalent of the Sena Spider RT1, which is a mesh-only system. So you are getting mesh-only technology attached to this helmet for the $350 price point. Now, if you're looking at pricing, the RT1 on its own would cost you around $220. So for the additional $130, you're getting it fully integrated into the helmet, as well as the helmet itself coming out of the box. So I really dig when Sena comes out with these Bluetooth systems built in for anybody out there that doesn't feel comfortable installing Bluetooth or just wants the convenience of it being built into the helmet. I like that they are offering options out there that helps those segments of the market. Looking at the helmet though itself, let's start out with that and then we'll talk a little bit more about the Spider equivalent in that mesh system built in there. You're looking at a fiberglass composite shell construction all the way throughout, 2 shell sizes coming up from small all the way up to 2 extra large, and you're looking at a DOT only safety rating. And the internal fit was intermediate oval, fits true to size. This is a large here, which fits just like we've seen from other larges out there, which makes sense because Sena is working with some of the biggest helmet manufacturers out there. So they're taking those lessons learned and giving you a traditional intermediate oval, meaning that it's a little bit longer front to back than it's going to be side to side, which is great for the US market. And then if you do have questions on sizing or helmets or anything like that, check out our how to buy and size a helmet guide. Spurgeon goes through an entire lengthy video just explaining how you can actually size up if it's your first helmet, or if you're just trying to nail down the fit, you can really dial that in that way. But overall weight, you're looking at about 2 pounds, 2 ounces in the size large, again, with that Bluetooth system already installed out of the gate. So a couple things on the Spider system that I talked about before. We can touch on those features because otherwise the helmet's pretty standard. It's just a half helmet with a removable visor up top. I will say, if you do remove the 3 bolts that actually hold it on, it's not a finished look underneath of there. So it is designed to be worn with that. There's no attachments or anything like that, available from Sena, but you can remove it. I've seen other riders do it, other influencers out there that reviewed the Cavalry 1 was the same way. So the Cavalry 2 still has that feature, but it is designed to be worn with that little tip. But otherwise, it's a pretty standard half helmet. So one of the features I want to talk about is that Bluetooth unit on the side, which I think is what most people would be looking at this compared to a standard half helmet out there. So again, it is an RT1 or Spider system. It is mesh only. You can still connect the Bluetooth to your phone or to your Harley infotainment system if you want to do that, but it is designed for communication on a mesh system only. Now keep in mind when it comes to Sena Mesh, that's up to 24 riders in a private mode, or you can go public with the unit, so it'll attach to any other units that are out there when it comes up to them if they're in the same public mode. And Sena confirms that as virtually limitless amount of riders in there, although in my opinion more than 4 riders it gets to be company when it comes to the ride and a little bit more distracting. But you do have that option should you choose to do so. You do have the ability to use your phone and access Siri or Google by touching a button or going ahead and using the dials on the outside. It is a 4-button system, so you do get the 3 on here, which control volume, help power it on, everything like that. But you also get, which I'll power it on now, you can actually hear it go on. And you do get a comm system on the back as well when it comes to it. So you just tap those 2 buttons for on and off, and then you can toggle through the modes on there. It is USB-C charging on the back, so it is going to have fast charging ability. That's the only other thing that is included in the box is the charger as well, which I have seen in the past. Sena used to include the earmuffs on the side to go ahead and provide a little bit of insulation to the ears, but also help with the speaker systems going to your ears on the sides. They're not including that at this point. It might be something they do a rolling change in the future, but they did confirm that it's not something that's coming out of the box for these ones right out of the gate. But speaking of speakers, one thing I want to call out, which I will get my donut up here just to be able to showcase, is the speakers are actually very well hidden. Just like we saw on the previous version of this helmet, they are right up here off to the side, right above the ears, and it is actually pretty solid when it comes to the noise levels. We saw it with the original. We've tested it out with this one, up to about 60 miles an hour. You feel like you need to be yelling in order for the microphone to actually pick up your voice, but it does a great job of canceling out that wind noise while still allowing you to talk at a normal volume. Again, you want to be yelling, just because it's kind of almost human nature. You think that with the loud noise, you got to be yelling over top of it, but it does pick it up really well. I'd say up to about 60 miles an hour. Really depends on the aerodynamics of your bike. If you're wearing earplugs, which everybody should be, it gets a little bit more different in those categories, but I do like that they're doing it. Again, the speakers are right up here in this brow, and then the brow itself is where the microphone is. Pretty simple internals though, when it comes to it. You can snap out the top liner if you need to replace it. I'll just quickly remove that. It's just 4 snaps, 2 at the brow and 2 at the rear. So nothing crazy there. Again, we traditionally like to see more brow mounted systems, but with the microphone in the front, it makes sense that they had to use it. And you can see the EPS system inside of there. So it's really clean. You don't see any of the wires. There's nothing really that you have to install. You just need to take it out of the box, maybe charge it, do a firmware update, and then you are good to go out on your ride. So it has been an extremely popular helmet, especially in the previous edition. So I like that Bell is bringing, or I'm sorry, that Sena, excuse me, is bringing it to the table with an all new updated mesh system with USB-C charging and still the traditional style that I think made the original so popular. But if you have any other questions, go ahead and click that info button. That's going to take you over to the product page where you can read other rider reviews and see what other riders are saying about the new Cavalry 2. If you still have questions after that, or if you have questions on sizing, feel free to give our customer service agents a call. They're all riders, happy to help you get set up for your next ride. I want to thank you for joining me and checking out the all-new Sena Cavalry 2 Bluetooth helmet. I'm Pat, and I'll see you in the next video.